No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. We tired of this 60% you. We tired of this crying you, this complaining you. We tired of this furnishing. Greatness is in you. You are here. You here. Leave your doggone mark. You here. Do something. So whatever you gotta do, you do it. And there are those of you, you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. It's time for you to cut average. It's time for you to cut good so you can finally get to great. There are no excuses. You cannot cheat success. You gotta work for it. You gotta breathe it. You gotta sleep it. You gotta eat it. You gotta put forth 120%. I didn't get here making excuses. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. It only takes one extra push-up. It only takes one extra mile. It only takes one extra grade. It only takes one extra effort. It only takes one extra something to get you to where you're trying to get to. And the goal is you got to go a little further than the man who's trying to get what you're trying to get. And can't nobody stop me but me.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything. And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always gonna be easy. Sometimes you gotta fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's gonna give you. If you wanna win, you gotta show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that,
It's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
I hate when people give 70%, but they want the life of somebody that's giving 100%. I challenge you, your life is where it is because of the percentage that you're giving. If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, the tree is not going to fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she's going to come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. I need you to do me a huge favor. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. And watch you go from zero to a multi-million-dollar company. Nothing's changed, guys. I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing 20 years ago. I just keep doing it. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, are you hearing what I'm telling you? You're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You got to be intentional and deliberate, whether you're making money or not making money. You got to decide that you're going to do something, and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're not intentional and deliberate. You're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is going to happen to you.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. All the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future.
There's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this really isn't for them and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you can be the person who's committed. You can be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens. No matter how frustrated I get. No matter how angry I get. No matter what happens in the world. No matter what. I'm fucking doing this. Those are the people that are gonna win.
You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. You have to do more. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of man, I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. Once you get there, that's when you know you've done enough. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you know when to do it, you gotta second the up to do it.
People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
You guys have got to believe in yourself. Headstrong, mentally tough. It's the only way through the bullshit here in life. Winners, the difference between them and the spectators is that the winners have a belief that overrides the crowd's disbelief every single time. Their belief is so strong, even though they hit failure, they get knocked on the ass. They're finding the intentional fortitude to stand back up again, face that same challenge, learning from the previous mistakes, and make it happen. Winners fail 1,000,000 times. What makes them a winner is that they believe it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest f***ing worker there. No longer are we gonna accept rhymes and society's rhyme the reason that we are average. Average is a weak mentality. We must believe it so much so that we're arrogant about it. We must be stock for excellence.
The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route.
You're working out, you wanna die. Feel the death happening in you. Feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat, because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the inevitable other end of the spectrum where you're laying in your hammock, sipping on a protein shake. Boy, I really went hard. I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life. Go hard. Die hard.
Life can throw you some curves. And it's not just the things that you see coming, but sometimes it's the things that you didn't see coming that hit you out of nowhere, that set you back in such a way that it seems like you can't get over. And you've reached your limit and your bandwidth is full. And you already said, I can't take another thing. And then out of nowhere, here comes something you didn't see coming and you're in it.
And in your homes, somewhere in your heart, these words are echoing. Am I going to make it?
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. There are times when your energy feels so depleted that you want to give up, that it looks just totally impossible. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, don't give up then. That's when you've got to fall forward, when life is kicking dirt in your face. Don't give up then. That's when most people turn back.
As long as you're alive, there is hope.
You're still alive. You're still here.
It's never too late, and it's never too dark, and we can always turn things around.
There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it, because that pain is what makes you stronger.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. You can't grow up on easy street. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it, because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. And you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You were there. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder when people didn't support me. You better grind, because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Whatever it is, you'll be stuck there. Why don't I get something for it? You ain't got to have the best head in life. You ain't got to start with the two-parent background. You ain't got to start with wealth. You ain't got to start with your parents graduated. It's not the hand that you dealt. It's how you play your hand.
When people die or people get sick or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, nothing can stop you. No mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you when it's deeper than just money and stuff. I can. I will. I must. It's going to rain sometimes. I will. You're going to feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I will. I will. I must.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how big the giant is, you can win. I want you to go in confidence that you've never had before. And every giant in your life, slay him. You go back and slay him. Don't kill him, slay him.
My glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning, in solitude, where I try, and I try, and I try again. With everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be. Then claim one victory that no one can ever take away from me, ever. A victory that is earned every single day. A victory of determination and will and discipline. A victory achieved because I will not stop.
It's the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we'll remember for. Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time.
Some of y'all so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind, because this is my time. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today.
It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then,
I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
It's easy to conquer when it's good weather. You got good sleep, work's going good, the family's good, you feel great, your body's not injured. Those are the easy days to conquer. But who are you on those days when all hell's broke loose? You're sore, you're depressed, you're miserable. Who are you on those days?
Of course, you don't feel like doing it. It's hard, whatever it is. And you rationalize and you justify and you make excuses like a high-priced defense attorney trying to win the case for weakness. And boy, I'll tell you what, that lawyer in your head is good. That lawyer knows just what to say. That lawyer knows all the legal loopholes and definitely knows how to sway the jury. So how do you compete with that? Don't play the game. Don't argue, don't discuss, don't negotiate. You tell that snake of a lawyer that's in your head to shut up. Tell him you don't want to hear it. Tell him you don't need to hear it because you are not the guilty party. You are in the right. You are on the side of strength and stability, and you don't need approval from this lazy lawyer to go and do what you're supposed to do.
That's the great divide. Those people who get up on those days when everything's still grind, that's the separator right there.
You don't negotiate with the weakness in your head. You get your ass up, you get moving, and you get after it, no matter how you feel.
What if for 10 years you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do? What would your life be like? What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? Who knows how much more efficient you'd be? You could be 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient a human being can become when they just stop wasting all the possibilities that are in front of them.
But it takes you dealing with what you really don't want to do and doing them to the best of your ability every single time. You force yourself to execute when you know it needs to be done, setting aside your feelings about the action.
Only weak in life go after things and attempt things they already know they can achieve. You've got to do something you're not quite sure of. Try something new if you want to switch it up. That's where growth comes, man. That's when your body's forced to adapt, forced to suffer the discipline today, so you never suffer the form of regret tomorrow.
That thing that you have to do that you know sucks. Well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. Don't let that happen. Go on the attack, go get it done.
There's no room for half-assed attempts. It's a full throttle, no bullshit kind of deal. The kind where you look adversity in the eyes and say, bring it on.
You see, greatness doesn't come to those who cower in the face of challenge. It's the prize for the relentless, the unstoppable.
You force yourself to suffer the pain of discipline so you never suffer the pain of regret. Because that pain of discipline will last for minutes, but that pain of regret will last a lifetime. Do not allow that to happen. Do what's hard now and live an easy life in the future, investing in today for a better tomorrow. Look in the mirror and declare on the part of you that's holding you back. No more excuses, no more procrastination, no more self-sabotage. That ends today. You get pissed off when others let you down, but what about when you let yourself down? You give yourself a free pass. You're not where you should be financially, physically, mentally, and you just let it slide. F that. It's time to hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you gotta tell yourself, no more TV, no more bullshit snacks, no more desserts. It's time to work out your body and your mind. Cut out the crap that's numbing you. Alcohol, not now. You can't handle distractions right now. You owe yourself more than that. I challenge you for the rest of this year to push yourself like never before. Dive all in. Every second, every minute, every day, become consumed by that vision and let nothing pull you away from it. Stop pretending you can have your way to greatness. Dedicate every breath, every ounce of energy, every thought to becoming what you want to be. Nothing great comes from comfort. Everything worth having comes from the uncomfortable, the struggle, the grind.
Night or day, it doesn't matter. What matters is your dedication. While your buddies are out there wasting their lives, you should be building yours. Success doesn't care about weekends or holidays, and neither should you. You work until you get what you want, and you don't stop until then.
Pain is temporary, but quitting, that's forever. You think champions have it easy? No, they fight, claw, and scream their way to the top. Every scar, every wound is a testament to their battle. Be that warrior. Be that never backs down. So ask yourself, are you going to be a footnote or a legend? Will you let life happen to you, or will you happen to life? The clock's ticking and time waits for no one. Seize this moment, this day, this opportunity.
If you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse. The person that finishes the race with their hand held isn't about how big they are, how tough they are, their potential, it's their perseverance. It's not about the dog that's in the fight. It's the fight within the dog. Well, yeah, it's a shit situation. I gotta go to work because I gotta pay the bill and support my family. But you know, it doesn't mean I have to shortcut my success in what I'm doing. I'll find a way to work this out. Even if you fail, you get back up and you continue to try and fail, continue to try and fail, and ensuring you never fail to try.
Telling yourself that you don't need to go harder, or you don't need to do more in your job, or be more disciplined in the way that you live. If you tell yourself those things, that's actually a lie. Because you know you can do more. You know you can be more. And that's the truth. That's the truth, and it eats you up. When you get content, when you settle, somebody's chasing you, somebody's coming from behind, and somebody's trying to take your spot. And so every single day when you wake up, you gotta set new goals, new benchmarks. You gotta raise it higher and higher and higher so you can make your dreams become a reality. No complacency. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever. Fight.
If you're a student in school, try harder, study harder, and focus more. You got this. That athlete that's out there, and you're not training how you're supposed to. Go 10, 15 minutes harder. 5, 10 more reps. You have to work when no one's watching. You have to train like there is no tomorrow. Day after day after day. You can improve just a little bit every day. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be in. You think I won't make it? Try me. I will stand up to any task, any day, anywhere. I've been a failure before. Now it's time for me to succeed. I've been without, and I'm hungry for success.
Am I satisfied? Not by a long shot. And I will not go quietly until the night. I will go kicking and screaming.
Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity I have to reprove myself again. Because the day you become content is the day you die. Is the day the person who's trying to catch you will get you. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. They don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. It's just some stuff that you gotta have stamina for. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you don't forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up. No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. My ability to be, do, and act whatever I want, it wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? You gotta begin with the end in mind. So whatever your dream or your goal is, you gotta wake up every day to it. You gotta go to bed with it. You gotta read stuff. The music you listen to, everything you do, gotta pour into that dream. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. You gotta, every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta pick your grind up. And I need you to wake up every single day, and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before.
You don't feel like it today. I know you had a long night. You're a little tired. You don't feel like it. I get it.
But if you don't feel like getting after it, I hope you feel like being weak. I hope you feel like not accomplishing anything, because that's what's gonna happen.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. You think you're gonna get in better shape. You think you're gonna get more money. You think your relationship is gonna improve. You think you're gonna get promoted. You think you're gonna get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything. But it isn't. Nothing is going to change unless you change what you're doing. Change the junk food that you're eating. Change the time that you wake up. Change what you do when you get out of bed. Change what you do with your time. That's what you need to do. You have to change some things or nothing will change. So make changes and start little. Get up a little bit earlier. Get a workout done. It doesn't have to be epic. You don't have to do a 3-hour leg day, but get up and get something done. And how about you plan what you're going to do in the day? How about you change what time you get to work by showing up 10 minutes earlier, and you square your gear away, or you dial in your tools, or your desk, or your workspace. That's what you need to do.
You want to know how to get better? You want to know how to take back control of your life? Stop looking for a sweatless solution. Stop looking for the easy path. Stop looking for someone or something to turn it all around for you. And start looking for your will. Start looking for your discipline.
When you start hearing that weakness creep into your brain, telling you to back down, in that very moment, you've got to decide that you're gonna be the commander of your brain. You've got to shut that weak voice down. It does not get a vote in what you're doing today. Your laziness, your sore legs, your sleepiness, your feelings, none of those get a vote. You're asserting dominance over your mind. You are getting done whether you feel like it or not.
If you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can be in better shape. The truth is, I can work harder than I'm working right now. The truth is, I can do more for my family. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. If that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
I don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them.
That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Are you hearing me? Not at that dog. You got to be intentional and deliberate. And everybody that's running with you got to be intentional and deliberate. Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do when you don't feel like doing it when you felt like doing it in the first place. That's all it is. But most people will not be successful because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're going to quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it, or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep going to get to go. Like, you're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals. And you're going to have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. There's no one say, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to get it done. I don't want to get to the next level. No, every person wants to make their dreams become a reality.
But the reason why most people will never get it, never achieve it, and never succeed is because you got to give up stuff in order to go up. You gotta make sacrifices. You gotta discipline yourself consistently. You gotta program yourself to suffer on a daily basis in order to reform those lazy habits into ones that build success.
I need you to do that sucks every day of your life. That's how you get better. That's how you get stronger. You embrace the resistance you feel when you're stretching yourself to go beyond what's comfortable. And if you're not pushing yourself, you're shrinking. You are fading away. And the reason why we fast from time to time is not that we have to fast, but at some point you gotta fast because you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control. I know you don't want to wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. We trying to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we want.
Everybody wants it, everybody dreams of it, but very few are willing to work for it. So you gotta make a declaration that you are gonna be one of those few people who will make it happen. Talk is cheap, so you shut your mouth and grind. Your actions will speak for themselves.
You make those little changes, those little habits that you have to change them, those bad habits. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. The little things, the little changes, they add up and they become big things. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life. But if you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change. Reset your brain, reset your habits, reset your life.
What controls our focus controls our life. And everything's trying to get our focus all the time, right? The advertiser's trying to get our focus, your phone's ringing, in your pocket it's buzzing, and that buzz is either your phone, or it's an email, or it's a text. There's this constant something trying to get control of our focus. But what you focus on determines your destiny in your life. So if you don't take control of it, somebody else will.
If I don't finally get my focus in check, if I keep wandering around distracted, if I keep looking at every new thing that pops up, if I keep trying every single new opportunity, if I keep saying yes to everything, if I keep listening to everybody's complaints, and if I keep doing whatever they ask me to do, at some point, you'll lose your life.
You can lose track of the long-term goal. It fades from your vision. It slips from your mind. But I don't accept that. I want that long-term goal to be so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it, ever.
You need to have a mission for what you're doing today. You should figure out what is it you desire in life and figure out the steps to get there and start working a plan to get there and minimizing everything else. Getting very clear on the mission, and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen.
Where will you be in your business, in your life in 36 months? Not because you hope, because you decide. If there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you focused on it continuously, didn't you? When you focus on something continuously, something magical happens. You get insights, don't you? You overhear a conversation and you hear something you wouldn't have heard if you didn't have that outcome or goal that you wanted so badly.
What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
The question you want to ask yourself is, what do I want? The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are in specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Because your brain's like a servo mechanism in a missile. It locks on the heat signature, what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result.
You cannot accomplish what you have not focused on. If you're not focusing on it, it can't happen. You're so focused on everything else but you, and you don't realize you are what's gonna blow you up. You are what's gonna change your situation. You are what's gonna take you to the next level. Stop focusing on 4 things at once, and I need you to concentrate on one thing at a time. And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Like you can't let girls go. Some of you just can't let boys go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it. You gotta stay focused. Stay focused.
Stay focused on the goal. Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. We wake up and grind. Winners win. I focus on winning. Eye on the tiger. I want you to be so focused. I want you to be so concentrated that you block out all noise, that you block out all sound. You got to get to that point like you like that eagle. You know that eagle that's 100 and some odd feet in the air, and that eagle is flying around, and all of a sudden it looks down in the Atlantic Ocean and it sees its prey, and all of a sudden, bam! All that eagle does is one time, it brings out its wings. It shows its face toward where it's going. It puts its head down, and boom, it dives down. It doesn't look to the right. It doesn't look to the left. It doesn't look up. It doesn't look further down. It looks straight at its prey, and it goes, bow, straight down into the Atlantic Ocean. Straight down, eyes focused, arms out steady, and bam, it scoops up its prey, and it keeps on going. And I'm telling you, if you're going to blow up, if you're going to get to the next level, you gotta stay focused. You gotta learn how to concentrate. What makes a person average is their focus. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have. You must now be focused on your why, and you must be focused on your dreams. You must be focused on your goals. When you are great, you don't focus on a week. When you are great, you don't focus on a month. When you are great, you don't focus on a year. I'm not saying the same thing wrong with planning, but what I'm talking about is you concentrate on the 24-hour that's in front of you and you nail it. I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself. If you would just believe that your day coming, that the sacrifices you are making today, they gonna pay off. But if you do not believe, it ain't gonna happen.
To every person in this room who's had a struggle, who's had some pains, who's had some tests, who's got some creative ideas, but you've gone through some really tough stuff.
Whatever you do, don't lose your head. Pull your feelings out of it. Your emotions, your negative thoughts, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities.
Do not allow these things to control the trajectory of your life.
If you are going to birth your dream, your calling, your passion, you can't draw back when life gets tough. You've got to stand up to it and push.
Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The stuff you've been through, don't pay it any attention.
If you start something, you're gonna finish it. Make a way. Figure it out, adjust, pivot, have a certain level of mental agility, and get it done. Keep going. Press on. This too shall pass. There's nothing that we come up against that's stronger than anything that we possess internally.
The world is not giving you what you deserve because you don't think you deserve it. And you need to change your mindset. Why are you timid? Why are you passive? Why are you afraid?
There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. You don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people. They sense that you don't believe it.
They feel it. You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6 when you don't have to.
And if you change your mindset is important because we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. You better change the way you think. All you need to do is change your thinking and you change your world. You don't need to change anything else. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. Average people talk normal. Average people talk problem. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. But I used to be average. And when I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And when I talked like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you, but you can go to the library and get yourself.
You can start reading books. You can go back to school. You can start coming to conferences.
There's something that you could do that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody, because we got you. You are the one.
I haven't had my best idea yet. I haven't had my most creative moment yet. I haven't produced my dream yet. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There's something down inside of you that's still kicking inside of you that wants to get out and it wants to live.
I want you to leave this room and embrace challenges. Stop quitting and giving up.
If it's hard, keep on coming back again. If folk oppose you, come on back again. Run out of money? Come back again. Keep working on yourself. Keep talking to yourself. Many start, but few finish. Few people finish because they say, well, it was hard, and they stop. They take that as a stop sign as opposed to a growth sign. They look at that as something to block them as opposed to an opportunity for them to grow, to become more creative.
All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. If you think it's gonna be easy, if you think you just gonna get that business started without any trials or forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's going to take its place? Success. And so you got to change your mindset. We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative. No pain, no gain.
Confidence makes you run toward the fight. When you don't have confidence, it makes you run away. So it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter the degrees you have. It doesn't matter how much money. It doesn't matter. Without confidence, there are certain things in this earthly realm you can't pull off. When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many locations. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
As you're going through your go-through, you ready to quit, you ready to give up, you ready to give in, because it don't look like you think it should look. And I'm telling you right now, because I care about you. I'm telling you right now, because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, you put too much in it to quit now. Oh, it doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were going to get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Oh, most people retreat during the pain. Are broken by the pain. But gladiators approach the pain, embrace the pain, and dominate the pain. The question is, are you a gladiator? I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can outlast that discomfort, I guarantee you, baby, on the other side of it is success.
Small daily acts of improvement, when done consistently over time, lead to staggering results.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. Show up. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work.
The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant.
Every single one of you has an opportunity every single day to make these small daily acts of excellence, optimization, and creativity that will ultimately build a life of greatness. How do you build a great company? It's not by revolution, it's by evolution. How do you build a legendary life? It's about...
But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she gonna come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. Every single day, stick with it. Don't rush the process, trust the process. Don't rush the process, trust the process.
Don't rush the process. Trust the process. Get that one thing you're good at. Get that one thing you're passionate at and stick with it. Stop starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. If you master one thing, if you get there, I'm telling you, you can have what you want.
You can screw it up. You can skip a day or two.
Yeah, out of 365 days, you're gonna have a bad day or two, but I'm trying to tell you, the strength is in the routine.
What are you supposed to do when you fall off the path like that? What action should you take? Should you sit there and dwell and think about it forever? No! When you fall off the path, what you do is you get right back on the path.
The path of responsibility, hard work, and sacrifice. The path of discipline, humility, and ownership that ultimately leads to freedom.
You think things are gonna just go your way? Well, they're not gonna just go your way. You think things are gonna just happen for you? Well, they're not just gonna happen for you. You gotta make them happen.
You do whatever it takes. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to feel it when it's not tangible. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You gotta be possessed with the dream. And every single day, you gotta wake up and put forth effort. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream, but your grind does not affect your dream.
You gotta build that momentum. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's not even about working the hardest. Sometimes it's about consistency. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop. You never give up and never quit. Day after day, play after play, second after second. When you get to a place where you work and you take your work serious and you put some consistency with your work, when you put so much time in, so much effort in, that what happens is your work starts to work for you. The effort that you put forth, the things that you do, because of the work you put in, things just start happening for you. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Stay predictable. Stay consistent. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
The process of getting better and becoming the best at what it is that you do is painful. It's excruciating. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. And there's a reason why there is the phrase growing pains. Losers want to be coddled. They want to be comfortable. Winners want to be pushed and put through the pain because they know that going through that pain is going to produce the best possible product in themselves. So which one of these people are you? Are your feelings so delicate and so sensitive that you're going to let you getting your little delicate feelings hurt get in the way of becoming what it is you wish to become? Or do you say, you know what, ego, there's no pain, there's no gain? Which one of those people are you? Because I can tell you one is going to always be average and one is going to always end up being elite.
In order to get a breakthrough, no breaks. You gotta grind. You gotta go through setbacks and disappointments. You gotta go through it. So it's not gonna be easy, but I'd rather take my breakthrough than to take a break. I need you to power through it. I need you to pray through it. I need you to encourage yourself through it. I need you to do whatever it takes, because if you don't take a break, I promise you, your breakthrough is coming.
What do you do when your battle chooses you? What do you do when something shows up on your doorstep that you did not directly cause, choose, or definitely anticipate?
There's problems that we go through that cause stress, worry, anxiety, and fear, but you might be in the battle of your life. I want to encourage you. It's not about what's happening around you. It's always about what's happening inside of you.
Life is hard sometimes. Easy, it's not an option. It's hard. Keeping your spirits up, getting up every day knowing and feeling that death is watching over you and say, you better sleep with one eye open because I'm waiting on you. It's hard when you're hurting. It's hard. You got bills, you got responsibilities. It's hard. But it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth giving yourself a chance. It's worth
mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. You can do it. You can do it.
Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many against. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen. You gotta get to the point where you don't need a car anymore. You don't need a house anymore. You don't need to be pushed by anybody anymore. Your dreams, your wives gonna push you. Your spouse is gonna push you. Your child is gonna push you. The need to get better is going to push you. Because you're closer than you're ever going to be, it's gonna push you. You don't need anything to push you. Your goals are gonna push you. Your dreams are gonna push you. The opportunity of a lifetime that happens in this particular time frame is gonna push you. It's gonna drive you. It's going to make you better.
You gotta tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You gotta tell bankruptcy. You gotta tell divorce. You gotta tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you come up against the wrong one this time.
If you are willing to grind, you can start from nothing. When I talk about beast mode now, I'm talking about the ant that's very small, but that can probably lift 100 times his weight. I'm saying that some of you in this room, you might not be a lion yet. Some of you in this room, you might be an ant. You might have small beginnings. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources. You might be the ant, and the ant has very little, but he's determined. He's strong. He has a dream and a goal, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you gotta do me a favor. Like, you can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to start fighting back.
When the going get tough, the tough get going. When you go through the valley, when you have been knocked down, when you know what it is to be destroyed, when you know what it is to be wiped out by life, no one can take that from you.
If you come from a family right now that's broke, use that to your advantage. I use that to my advantage that I was a high school dropout, that I was homeless, that I ate out of trash can. I love dealing with a dude who think because he come from money, he better than me. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog?
There's certain things when you privilege that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I got this dog for being homeless. I'm getting paid now because the homelessness didn't break me.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
Say, I'm gonna live to tell the story. This too shall pass. I will remain. I'm not gonna quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. If you don't quit, you will win, baby. Just keep coming back. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life, man, is just showing up.
I couldn't give up. Homeless, I still couldn't give up. I'm one class shy, the PhD. I can't give up. Why? Because the value, what it's worth, what I put in too much. I've given too much. I sweat too much. I've given up sleep. I've given up friendship. I've given up so much stuff that I had to get back later. Why? Because the value, I put too much in it. What's it worth to you? What does it cost? What price have you paid for it? What has it cost you? And if it costs you something, then you better not quit until you get a harvest. You better not quit till it's fully developed. You better not quit in the midst of the process. I need you to speak victory. I don't care what's going on around you. I need you to speak victory. I need you to talk victory. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't need you to speak your reality. If you broke, you ain't got to tell the whole world you broke. I need you to speak victory. I need you to say I'm going to graduate when you can't even see it. I need you to say my book will be finished. I'm an author long before it's finished. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You have to speak it and say it's so that can become a reality. Because if you can speak it, if you can say it, you're going to eventually get to it. Sweat equity. Sweat equity.
There's some things you're not willing to quit when you've invested that much into it. Some of y'all, you can quit because you ain't putting nothing in it. You ain't put enough work in it. You can just turn your back on it because you didn't put that much work into it. There's some stuff in my life, I can't turn my back on it. I work too hard to walk away from certain things because I put too much in it. And some of you can easily walk away from stuff. It doesn't mean nothing to you. If this company means something to you, if this opportunity means something to you, you wouldn't quit and you wouldn't give up and you wouldn't give in.
It's called character. You will grow through what you go through. The question is, are you willing to go through it? Sometimes a setback and you being in the dumps and miserable and frustrated about all of these things that keep going wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, and you're looking for something to go right. When it finally starts going right, you're gonna appreciate it that much more.
You cry, you're hurt. At the end of the crying and the hurt, don't give me a story. I don't need a story. At the end of it, I need you to get a reward. You already cried. You've already sacrificed parties. You've already given up sports. You've already given up a whole lot of stuff. And now you're about to cry and give up. You're about to cry and go home. If you were going to quit, you should have quit before you started. You don't come this far. You don't invest this much time. You don't invest this much energy to give up. Recycle your pain. You can decide the shape, the form. You can decide the product that comes from your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness. This is what I need you to do for me. When you walk out of here, I just need you to keep walking toward it. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. When you out there dealing with the real world, it ain't pretty. You got to have heart. Get some heart. It can be fixed and you can fix it. But when you pointing fingers and you talk about, I can't believe stuff change. The weather change every day. You don't complain about that. When you get out there, I need you killed or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody about to give you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it. That test might not go away. That pain might not go away. That fight might not go away. You are a warrior. It's time for you not to back up, not to give up, not to give in. You are a warrior. It's time to fight. If you're going through trials and tribulations, the best thing you can do is handle it. The worst thing you can do is panic. If you ever study an eagle, you see that an eagle flies best when there's storms and winds, because it doesn't have to flap. It uses the wind from the storm to elevate. And so I don't care what your trials and tribulations are, elevate yourself, get beyond the clouds.
Don't worry about your haters. Your haters are like pigeons. Pigeons can only fly so high.
And so you don't have to worry about people and circumstances and situations. You just fly up to an altitude that they can't go to. You are in control. Not the little voice that gives you all the doubts and gives you all the negativity and gives you all the questions. You, the successful you, are in control. And you've got to continually beat that into your brain every time that little negative voice comes around that makes you feel insecure, that makes you feel less confident, that makes you feel like you're not enough.
Stop being a victim. Stop letting life push you around and start fighting back. Because the minute you tell yourself that you control this is the minute you can start to change it. It all starts the moment you take responsibility and say to yourself, I can make out of this life what I want, and no one and nothing is going to shape my destiny but me. You've got to stare all that in the face and say, you can't beat me, I'm too strong.
Many start, but few finish. And that few that finish, that just keep on there in spite of the pain, in spite of the agony, they just keep on. And once they break through that wall, now it's just automatic. It's not a question of whether or not you will do it, it's done. Where you stop worrying, where you begin to trust, you get still and begin to know that you are entitled to this, you're supposed to have this. This is your calling, this is the reason that you are here. This is your time. It's done. when you no longer focus on the obstacles, when you no longer care what people think or what they might say, when you no longer find the need to seek their approval, it's done. It's done. When you say whatever price I must pay, I will do that. It's done when the pressure within you is greater than the pressure outside of you. What do you do when you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything, life been devastated, and you losing every day? Life whipping your butt every day. Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself.
Out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
This is where most of you break. At test day, when you just lost your best customer. When you're fighting with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. When you just got betrayed by a good friend. When you feel like the sun don't come up and you just want to shelter down. That day, you give twice as much. If I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I stayed up all night, let's say my kids are sick, and I say I'm going to go to the gym at 5, I go to the gym at 5. You know why? I'm not going to break on a test day.
Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. You grab your enemy by the throat and you keep fighting. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter what.
Test days are not something to be dreaded. Test days are only to be dreaded by people who can't pass the test. And all of you have the ability to pass the test.
It is on those days that determine how your life builds. You wake up today, you got a headache? Suck it up. You wake up this morning, don't feel like going to the gym? Most people don't. Go anyways. You wake up this morning, you don't feel like talking to somebody? You need to talk to somebody as fast as possible. Test days are what make you a savage.
You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it.
Those that can kill test days and stay about it all day long are those that annihilate the rest. I want you to make a commitment today that from this point forward, you're gonna become the most savage that ever lived. You're gonna be smarter, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna give it all you got.
We live as prisoners in our minds. We're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize a lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get strong. When everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what you're gonna do is only watch it. Stay hard.
You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack, I'm a warrior. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many trials and tribulations, you know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. Oh, God, I feel depressed. I'm going through it. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. You are so focused on what you can't control that you're not putting your energy, your spirit, your ethos, your trust on what you can control. What you can control is putting your gym shoes on and going for a run. What you can control is what time you go to bed. What you can control is what time you wake up. What you can control is what you watch on TV. What you can control is how you use your schedule. What you can control, you can control. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused. You think the lion look the way it does because of what he eat? You think that physique is that because of what he eat? It's not. It's the hunt that make it look like that. It's the hunt. Because every time it get up and it go out, it's got to run. Every time it go out, it's got to jump on my man and boom, bring my man to the ground. But I promise you, whatever they catch, it ain't just letting them eat it. It's a fight going on. And every time it fight, it gets stronger. Every time it fight, it get more ferocious. Every time it fight, it becomes more of what it is.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it. So you be that always gets it done.
Every step you take, you get that much stronger.
The greatest of all time, if you were to peel back who they are on the outside and look deep within their soul, you're going to find a savage warrior. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes weren't on the court at 4 a.m. in the morning doing chest passes and free throws because they wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the fans. No, they wanted to go out and slit throats every single day of their lives in their careers. And when people tell you you can't, people tell you you won't, people people tell you your dreams are too big, you're never going to accomplish them, when are you going to grow up and get realistic, when your girlfriends leave you, your boyfriends abandon you, when all that happens, we got to know what to do with this energy, otherwise it's up. It paralyzes us. It makes us ineffective. So we take all the negative, we take all the frustration, we take all the things, and we don't lash back out. We take it and we put it up on our shoulder as a big giant chip. And every single time that we feel like not doing what we should do, every single time we feel like quitting, every single time we feel like throwing in the towel, we go up here and we list down the things that people have said to us. We list down the things that people have done to us, and we find the energy to go take productive action.